Hello and welcome, family, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life very much, family, on your own terms. We acknowledge the ancestors who move in the wind, and just, thanks to every single person that has supported the channel, family, and enables us to continue to bring this awakening news to you. So much is happening. So much. We can't even share everything. We're not even allowed to share everything that's going on. But I thought it would be important. We don't cover every news story here, but we cover the ones that are like markers on this great, on the fall of Babylon and on our great restoration and revival. Family, we have activated our main channel where we will be focusing more on Kenya as the seat of revival, as the door to what is coming in, as the place where the quote unquote Messiah will return from or return through. So definitely, subscribe to that. That's Dr. Mumbi show. So family, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but there was actually a massive, massive fire over the weekend in actually Sunday. I don't know when I'll publish this to the main, audience, but if you want to catch our shows before, definitely join our Patreon. So Paris firefighters were actually battling a warehouse fire, and get this, it is at the second largest wholesale produce market in the world that supplies France's capital and its surroundings. But they were even saying something like it has the food, it has enough food to, I think, feed Europe for a month or something crazy like that. And footage shared on social media of the blaze at Rungis International Market, which is the principal market of Paris, mainly for food and horticulture products, located in the commune of Rungis in the southern suburbs, and the second largest wholesale food market in the world, went up in a blaze. They didn't know what, the scenes were actually looking kind of crazy. They didn't seem to understand, where the blaze came from. And, they said the fire destroyed a fruit and vegetable warehouse, as I mentioned. Family. There's this whole conspiracy out there that Babylon, to create the New World Order, Babylon is actually trying to create, engineered food shortages so that now they can bring everyone onto their new food grid. Because what they were trying to give you with the jibby jab is now in the food. The nanos are now in the food, family. And, there's this conspiracy theory. I think it has some level of truth, but I think this actually now looks like a way deeper thing. So they were saying that because, there's been a lot of fires and destruction on the food in the divided states. We also saw, was it Netherlands or whatever, their farmers were told that they had to reduce the number of I think they had to bring down their farms or whatever. They had to reduce the food. I think maybe it had to do with cows or whatever. They're trying to get everyone onto this vegetarian vibe. And so there's been a lot of food wars that have gone on in the last year. But family, I don't think this is them anymore. I really don't think this is them anymore. And some people won't get this, and that's totally fine. You're not supposed to keep it moving. Because from my experience, in the last 3 to 6 months, family, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that we are not alone. That the beings, our ancestors, the ancient ones are here, not just in physical form, but they're also around here in spiritual form. This is going to sound so crazy to some. Some are even here in their ships. When you live on top of the world, literally, and you're just watching the clouds, you start to see a thing or two, and it's not hallucinations. That's why I keep saying, check out someone like Mr. Is it 33B, 333B or something like that. He goes on a lot because there's a spiritual presence now. We are not alone. We're not the only ones here. We've not been the only ones here for a while, but now, with this new dispensation, there's a spiritual rescue that's happening, and there's spiritual beings among us. And as I kept saying, family, that spiritual warfare has trickled into our reality. And I'm starting to think Babylon why would they be destroying all their own food? There's something deeper going on. Although you see how important the narrative is, that they would go so far, instead of telling you that quote unquote aliens exist, they'll go as far as to tell you, to let certain conspiracy theories go about how powerful they are, that they even want to collapse the global food system, etc., etc. But family, the most important message from this is that Africa, we are on our own. No one is coming to our rescue. That previous global international politics, international economics model is done. They are moving people into a new world order created by the World Economic Forum. And so if you don't have your food, in order for yourselves, for your nation, then you are going to become new world order slaves. New world slaves. And it's funny because our president was talking about, he had this Thanksgiving Thanksgiving service and everything. And he was talking about how we have so much debt. And, he quoted some verse in the Bible, which was like, I think the one that says like, whoever you have a debt to, you are a slave to. And so he was basically saying, we are slaves to Babylon. It hit deep, man. It hit different. It hit different to hear it like that. We're literally debt slaves. And until we get out of that slavery, then we are literally at their mercy. So family, I've been saying this for so long, become independent, get your life in order, get your life under your control. And it starts with the spirit and the mind. Expand your thinking to what could possibly be going on. Because the greatest visitation of our lives is about to happen. And people are still stuck in the Jesus complex. Expand, family. There is a Messiah who is returning in spirit. But we have to expand to the point where we'll even see that. A lot of people won't even see it. They're not on the vibration. But that we'll inner and understand that, family. You see, if you want to decolonize yourself, you have to decolonize yourself fully, not just partially. And there's 3 pillars that Babylon is still using against us heavily. I mean, all the 7 pillars are in play. But the 3 that are being used heavily are religious, government, and economics. Heavy. That's where they can really arm twist people. But the war is here. And the funny thing is, they've been talking for a long time about how doomsday and September 24th and blah, 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 blah. And there was supposed to be this big thing that happened. But if you look at it, this is a Cold War, and it's going to get rough for Babylon. I mean, Russia has cut off their gas, and they may not have enough food for their people. And it's going to be one of the darkest winters. The darkest winter he was talking about is this one. They couldn't manifest it the previous one. But there's something bigger at play here, family. And that's why you have to get into the vehicle of your own narrative. Start to research things. Start to figure things out. Start to look beyond what you've been told, you can only hear and only this is possible and this is true, because that's what's going to trip you up. Start to go into the beings that are here. They call them aliens, but they are ancient ones. They're our spiritual family. And we have to start accepting this, because then we'll start to see that some of us may not even be here. We may actually be cosmic beings with a connection here more than these human beings trying to have this spiritual experience. We're not all the same. And we're not alone, family. Because I really don't think Babylon is doing, at this point, I really don't think we can give Babylon that much credit for all the wildfires, the crazy weather, everything that's happening. No. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Until next time, tuko pamoja.